heavy rear bumper is a solid option for the 2021 or newer Bronco owner who wants a very capable rear bumper with the classic heavy-duty appearance when it comes to their build. Now, this bumper is great for any driving style thanks to the versatility that it has. Whether you are off-road often and need options for recovery or lighting, or you stick to the street most days and want the extra assurance for those just-in-case scenarios. This is also a bumper that leaves your options open for future modifications, being one of the only choices on the page that has a compatible swing-out tire carrier option that you can purchase separately on our site if you do want to upgrade in the future. Now, that saves you some cash up front, but also allows you some peace of mind that if you do end up upgrading your tires and want the ability to keep your rear bumper and not have to switch out your entire system, you can do both with this kit. This bumper has features that are great for utility on and off-road, and some that you can build off of, as I mentioned, depending on your goals when it comes to your Bronco. Now, starting off, the bumper has a full width build for optimal protection while maintaining clearance thanks to filler plates that come with this kit on the outer ends to clean up the appearance and provide that true full width coverage. Now, one of the most noticeable features on the back of this rear bumper are the welded D-ring mounts and the shackles that this comes with, offering a tougher, more off-road appearance to the bumper, but it makes for a solid recovery point with a load capacity of 9,500 pounds per shackle. Now, the cutout for this oversized tire in the center, the light mounts in each of the ends here, and the ability to mount up a compatible swing-out tire carrier also notable, considering that this has the ability to grow with your build if you do need the extra strength or room for that oversized spare and want a frame supported option, or you simply just want some additional visibility out of the back and need a bumper that will accommodate for that change without modification. This bumper's construction makes it very useful for rear end protection and as a recovery point thanks to the strength of its build, made of a tough heavy-duty steel plating. To protect the steel on top, this has a textured black powder coat finish. It is a fine texture, so it adds more of a premium look, and it is in a two-stage process with an epoxy pre-coat and then the powder coat on top to fight off rust, being great if you live in a tougher climate. Now, the kit also comes with all of the necessary cutouts for the factory parking sensors, the hardware, and all of the brackets that are also powder coated steel for additional strength, making the bumper a very straightforward swap when it comes time to install it. Now, this is about $600, which is a relatively affordable choice compared to others in the category. Now, what's unique about this bumper is the features that it has relative to the price point, making it very functional compared to other choices with the recovery features, light mounting options, and the addition of being able to mount up a spare tire carrier here, all while being more towards that affordable side of the spectrum. Now, there are very few options within the category that have the ability to add on a spare tire carrier if necessary, which makes this a solid choice if you know that there's a strong chance of needing to support an oversized tire in the future, in addition to the other things that this brings to the table. Install here is a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it should only take you about 2 hours or so in order to fully install this. Now, at this point, I'm going to hand it over to one of our installers here. They're going to show you a detailed breakdown on how you can get this bolted up to your Bronco at home. So that wraps it up for what I have to say. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
For this install, you will need an impact, a ratchet, a 10mm ratchet wrench, a swivel adapter, 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter if necessary, 4mm Allen bit, 13, 16, and 18mm sockets, a clip removal tool, and the provided Allen wrench. Also not shown here is an extra set of hands. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing a rear bumper on our Bronco, so let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is remove our factory rear bumper. Now, underneath we have 2 18mm bolts, a 13mm bolt, and a plug for our tag light harness on both sides, and we're going to remove our tow hook as well with 1 clip. So we'll get under there and get that going. So now we're underneath the driver's side of the bumper, and first thing we're going to do is unplug our tag light harness. We're going to grab our clip remover tool, pop this out of its little seating clip. Sometimes they're a little stubborn. We'll get that out. Unplug this. There's a tab up top. Press that in and unplug that. Next, we're going to remove this 13mm bolt on the back side of our frame horn with our 13mm socket on our impact. Now we're going to remove the locator clip for our tow hook as well as the two 18mm bolts. So we've got our clip remover tool. We can pop this out first. We'll grab our 18mm socket on our impact. Get these two bolts out. Now you want to grab your tow hook as well because that's going to come out with these. And once you have these out, you can do the same thing for the other side. So now that we have all of our hardware out, we're ready to go ahead and pop our bumper off. Now one thing we did do was remove our spare tire. Not really 100% necessarily, but necessary depending on the size of your tire. But if you have an oversized wheel, you definitely want to take that off. So whatever lug nuts you use, pop that off and set it aside. And we're going to grab our bumper and pull it out. Now we can set this aside. Alrighty guys, so now that we have our factory bumper off, we've got our new bumper up on the table because there's a few things we need to do before it's ready to go onto our Bronco. So the first thing we're going to do is install our end caps and then our upper trim pieces. So now we're going to take our end cap and line that up with the end piece of our bumper. And we're going to line up the two bolt holes. We're going to grab one of our provided combo bolts, send that through the back side, followed by one of our provided flange nuts. Get that started. Now this is kind of a tight space. It's okay. Once we get that first one in, line up our second one. Get that in. And we're going to grab our provided Allen wrench, get into our Allen head bolt. We'll get this roughly lined up. We'll grab our 10mm ratchet wrench. We'll tighten both of these down. Next, we're going to get our upper trim on. So this has 3 threaded holes already in it. They're going to line up with the edge of our bumper. Get those in place. Grab 3 of your provided combo bolts. Get those threaded in. So now we're going to line this up. And we'll bring in our 4mm Allen socket on our ratchet and tighten these down. This one may be a little bit tight. We can switch out to our provided Allen wrench. This one. Now you may have to use a swivel adapter for this one. You just want to be careful if you do. Go nice and slow so you don't strip out your bolt. Now once you have this side on, you can repeat the same process for the other side. Now our Bronco does not have parking sensors for the rear, however this bumper does come with provisions to swap those over if you indeed do have those. Since we don't, we're just going to install these supplied plugs for our parking sensor holes. They just snap into place like so. Once you got those two on, you can do the same thing on the other side. So now that we have everything set up on our bumper, we're going to come over to the rear of our vehicle. And we're going to install our support brackets into the openings of our rear frame horns. Now you'll have 2 welded nuts that you'll need to line up with these 2 holes on the outside of each of your frame horns. We'll set that in. Get those lined up. Then we're going to grab one of our provided 16mm bolts with a lock washer and flat washer. We're going to get that into this lower hole. We're just going to thread this in a few threads because the lower mounting point that lines up with this is an open-ended one, so that's going to help with our bumper alignment when we set it in place. Once we have this one in, you can do the same thing on the other side. Alright guys, so now we're ready to get our bumper onto the Bronco, and we've got an extra set of hands to help us do that. We're going to line our lower mounting point up with that 16mm bolt we previously installed. Set that on. Then we'll grab another one of our 16mm bolts and get that into that upper mounting point. Now we're going to get our two provided 18mm bolts in on the bottom where our factory bolts went. We have to move this around a little bit. Once we get those on, we're going to grab our 18mm socket on our impact, and we'll tighten these two down first, and then grab our 16mm socket and tighten these two down. And once you have this side tightened down, you can do the same thing for the other side. Now we can install our provided D-rings. We'll slide this through our toe block, get our pin through. Snug that down. You can do the same thing for the other side. And once you have these on, you can reinstall whatever spare wheel you are carrying. Now you may notice we did not install a tag plate bracket for this bumper. This also is accompanied with a swing out tire carrier that is sold separately that will include your tag bracket on that as well. Alrighty folks, that about wraps up our review and install of our Barricade HD rear bumper for your 21 to current Bronco. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Bronco, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.